Welcome back. In a landmark ruling, the Supreme Court today declared that Muslim women can seek maintenance from their ex-husbands under Section 125 of the CRPC. And we, in fact, have accessed the Supreme Court's order copy. Siddharth is going to take us through that. Yes, Siddharth.
So, Swati, let me just take you through some of the operative portions of this 99-page judgment. It's an important ruling on the part of the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court basically says that a Muslim woman has the right to seek recourse by way of maintenance and alimony under Section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Let me, in fact, take you through para number 37, which is the operative bit here, and it reads, and I'm just going there, one second. It says, and I quote, "From the aforementioned, we're inclined to conclude that the equivalent rights of maintenance ascertained under both the secular provision of Section 125 of CRPC 1973 and the personal law provision of Section 3 of the 1986 Act parallelly exist in their distinct domains and jurisprudence, thereby leading to their harmonious construction and continued existence of the right to seek maintenance for a divorced Muslim woman under provisions of CRPC 1973, despite the enactment of the 1986 Act. Accordingly, the decisions as rendered by various high courts, one of which has been referred as aforesaid or even otherwise and stand in contradistinction to the observations made here and above, do not lay down the correct position of the law and therefore bad in law." Some people had approached the court saying there's a contradiction between the Rajiv Gandhi Act that was actually passed in 1986 when he was Prime Minister and the Section 125 of the CRPC, which provides for the rights of maintenance and alimony for a divorced woman. The Supreme Court in this judgment has said that those two laws are not in conflict with each other. In fact, one complements the other and one actually gives an additional right to a Muslim woman in addition to an existing law under Section 125 that she can already avail of.
Right, so that stay on with us. We also have our legal editor Harish joining us in the broadcast. This, in fact, is a significant step, in recognizing the rights of divorced Muslim women. Harish.
Yes, that's right, Swati. In fact, the Supreme Court has declared this Section 125 of the CRPC, which deals with a wife's right to maintenance, applies to all married women regardless of the religion. In fact, the decision affirms that Muslim women can also invoke this provision to seek maintenance after divorce. The Supreme Court judgment essentially means that Muslim women must be entitled to claim maintenance from her divorced husband under the CRPC, as was affirmed in the Shabano case and the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act in 1986, in fact, superseded, enacted by the Rajiv Gandhi government, in fact, superseded that judgment. But what is important is that the Supreme Court judgment means that Muslim women be entitled to claim maintenance from a divorced husband under the CRPC, and the Supreme Court highlighted that the time has come for Indian men to recognize the indispensable role and sacrifices made by housewives for the family. The bench highlighted the necessity for husbands to provide financial support to their wives, suggesting practical measures such as maintaining joint bank accounts and sharing ATM access to ensure economic stability for women within the household. So several very important remarks made by the bench led by Justice B.V. Nagaratna.
Right. Harish, stay on with us. Let me quickly go back to Siddharth. He's going to show us the order copy. This provides a legal safety net to Muslim women to seek maintenance, Siddharth.
Absolutely. An additional legal safety net, you can call it, Swati. In fact, this is a 99-page judgment authored in two parts. The first, of course, is of both the judges who were, of course, presiding over this case. And the second is a separate but concurring judgment delivered by Justice Nagaratna. And here's what she says on page 47 of 53 of her judgment. She says, hence what emerges is that the 1986 Act, which had been passed by the then Rajiv Gandhi government in Parliament, is not a substitute for Section 125 of the CRPC, and nor has it supplanted it, and both can operate simultaneously at the option of a divorced Muslim woman as they operate in different fields. So she has a recourse to both. As I find no conflict between the provisions of the 1986 Act, which is a piece of legislation in the nature of quasi-personal law, insofar as the divorced Muslim wife is concerned, and Section 125 of the CRPC, which is a statutory provision applicable to women belonging to all faiths. This is important. Therefore, the latter cannot be restricted in its operation to divorce Muslim women. I find that if Section 125 of the CRPC is excluded from its application to a divorced Muslim woman, it would be in violation of Article 15(1) of the Constitution of India, which states that the state shall not discriminate against any citizen only on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them. Further, our interpretation is consistent with the spirit of Article 15(3) of the Indian Constitution. So a divorced Muslim woman has recourse to both laws, Section 125(3) of the CRPC as well as the 1986 Act.
Absolutely, and is not restricted just by the personal laws. Siddharth and Harish, stay on with us. Let's take a look at some reactions. The petitioners, lawyer and women rights activists have understandably hailed the landmark judgment, which they say will empower women irrespective of their religion.
This is a historical judgment. This is a landmark judgment not only on the issue of the maintenance of the woman, but this is a judgment which deals with the empowerment of the woman, irrespective of her religion. It is a very wide judgment. Nobody expected that there will be such type of judgment which gives so much power to the woman.
ये ऐतिहासिक फैसला है सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, और मुझे लगता है कि जब आप संविधान के तमाम पहलू के ऊपर पूरे भारत में जो लोग रह रहे हैं उसको मानते हैं, कानून को मानते हैं, तो सीआरपीसी की 125 जो एक ताकत देती है उन मुस्लिम महिलाओं को जिनको दर दर भटकने के लिए छोड़ दिया जाता था, शरिया के नाम पे छोड़ दिया जाता था, धर्म आधारित नाम पे छोड़ दिया जाता था, अब उनको एक बड़ी ताकत हाथ में लगी है जिसकी वजह से वो अपने गुजारा भत्ता के लिए, हमें याद है किस तरीके से गुजारा भत्ता का ही केस तो शाबानों का था।
जो हमारा माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला आया है गुजारे भत्ते को लेके, वो बहुत ही बेहतरीन फैसला है मुसलमान महिलाओं के लिए। तो सबसे पहले मैं कहूँगी, क्योंकि उन लोगों के जो अधिकार हैं वो शरीयत के नाम पे छीने जाते हैं। जैसे गुजारा भत्ता है, वो कहते हैं कि इस औरत से हमारा रिश्ता नहीं है, हमारे साथ रह नहीं रही है, तो हम इसका गुजारा भत्ता क्यों देंगे। तो मुझे लगता है कि सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी था हम जैसे मुसलमान औरतों के लिए, क्योंकि जिन्हें हर बात पे शरीयत का नाम ले लेके परेशान किया जाता है, हम लोगों की एक तरीके से एक्सप्लॉयटेशन चलता है। क्योंकि आज जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला रहा है वो बहुत ही अच्छा है, बहुत बेहतरीन है और इसकी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत थी हम लोगों को।
However, there are some who are opposing the Supreme Court order. The clerics say it's a matter of religion and best left to personal law board.
इस सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो फैसला है, मुझे लगता है कि उस पर जो कानून के माहिरीन हैं उस पर उनको गौर करना चाहिए और इस पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट को रिव्यू करना चाहिए, इस पर नजरसानी करना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये मजहबी मामला है, मजहबी के साथ साथ ये अखलाकी मामला है। हमारी मॉरल वैल्यूज ये हमें इजाज़त नहीं देती हैं कि जब हमारा कोई रिश्ता किसी से बाकी नहीं रहा तो फिर हम उसकी ज़िंदगी भर का खर्च उठाएं। तो ये मुझे लगता है कि इस पर नजरसानी करने की ज़रूरत है।
Now, while the opposition leaders have hailed the verdict, the BJP has pointed towards Rajiv Gandhi's legacy. Remember, the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act 1986 was passed by the Rajiv Gandhi government to circumvent the then Supreme Court verdict of Shah Bano. This has been largely seen as an appeasement tactic to pacify the minority community by then government. Today, the BJP trains their guns on Rajiv Gandhi, on the then Congress government and his legatees. Listen in.
See, whatever the Supreme Court says, one must all respect it. But the question is that when decades ago the Supreme Court had said similar thing, at that time it was the anti-women and pro-vote bank Congress party Rajiv Gandhi who overturned the decision of the Supreme Court only for the sake of appeasing few fundamentalists. And the Congress continues to do that. When Teen Talaq law is made, they oppose it. When UCC is spoken of, they oppose it. When women empowerment is spoken of to appease a particular vote bank, they oppose it. Today, will they oppose it or will they welcome it and they will apologize for the anti-women steps taken by Rajiv Gandhi in the name of vote bank? They will never do that because even today their charitra has not changed.
देखिए, मेरी निजी राय पूछेंगे या महिला कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष के तौर पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट के इस फैसले का मैं स्वागत करती हूं, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ये फैसला ने महिला को महिला के तौर पर देखा है। अभी गुजरात के जो बीते चुनाव है उसी में आपने बिल्किस बानो के 11 सामूहिक बलात्कारियों को छोड़ा, संस्कारी बताया। ये तो अभी की बात है। हाँ, अपने गिरेबान में झांकिए और चुल्लू भर पानी में डूब मरिएगा। अगली बार जब इस तरह के फैसलों पर भी आप राजनीति करें
देखिए, गुजारा भत्ता हम उन सभी महिलाओं को मिलना चाहिए जिनका तलाक हो गया या जिनके पति छोड़ गए, फिर वो किसी भी धर्म की हों। माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो फैसला आया है, समाजवादी पार्टी समझती कि अगर उसमें आंशिक बदलाव होता, वो सभी के लिए होता तो बेहतर था, लेकिन वो जो मुस्लिम महिलाओं के लिए आया है कि गुजारा भत्ता उनको मिलना चाहिए, तो जिनको पति उनके छोड़ देते हैं या तलाक दे देते हैं, उसके बाद उनके पालन पोषण का उनके बच्चे हैं तो उनके लिए गुजारा भत्ता मिलना चाहिए था। समाजवादी पार्टी समझती कि ये फैसला उचित है।